Hey guys, welcome to the channel, Mama Bear's Homestead and More. On today's episode, we're going to be planting our garlic. You guys thinking, gosh, Papa Bear, why are you planting garlic in November? Well, that's when you plant garlic. But yeah, garlic grows through the winter, harvests late June, July, and we've been growing garlic now for 3 years. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at it, but we grow some pretty decent garlic. So come on, let's get our garlic prepped and ready to plant. Alright guys, this is garlic we grew this year that I saved for seed purposes. This is probably a third of our harvest. So the rest of the garlic, Mama Bear and I will consume that. And then this is, I always just buy a couple bulbs of different seed so I can have different genetics and different stock. One thing that I've learned this year about growing garlic is I'd planted garlic in that water trough bed for the past 3 years, and you don't need to do that because that gets disease and get different things in your ground. You need to keep your garlic on a rotation. So this year we're going to plant our garlic in the wetting bed, and I'll explain all that to you. You guys are like, what's the worst tub bed and a wetting bed? But I'll explain that when we get over there. But to get your garlic ready to harvest, just break it open and plant it just like that. But that's one garlic plant. And I think this is music garlic. See, this one here, it don't look the best, so we'll kick it out. Yeah, we'll kick it out. But you can also go to the store, and another thing, when you're breaking your garlic open to your bulbs open to find your seed, like these little seeds, you don't want to plant those, but they're good to just go ahead and go. Let me get the case off of them. This is my favorite thing to do with them. Yeah. There's the stem of the garlic. So this little seed right here, we'd plant it. Put it back here. Garlic's so good.
We're going to be playing around with some fermenting garlic and honey as well.
Yes.
Stay tuned for that because it's delicious and so many health benefits.
Yes. Yeah, these are great seeds here, guys. Look at these big old hunks. That's a big old clove of garlic. This is bulb of garlic, and that's clove.
Well, Papa Bear, I think I'm going to help you get these broken up, and we'll bring them back when we're over at the wedding bed.
All right, guys. I told you we had that bundle of garlic that we bought. Definitely a different variety of garlic. I'm pretty sure that's music. I may be wrong on that, but look at the color difference in them. But yeah, they're both the hardneck varieties. These were all of our little that didn't make the cut for seed garlic, but don't worry, them will go to good use. That will probably be infused with honey to ferment. Another thing I want to say about garlic, you can go to the grocery store and do just what we did and plant that. You're running into risk there.
Hey, dude.
Because you don't know how that garlic was treated, sprayed or whatever. But in a pinch, that would work. You can plant store garlic. So, and we're not going to, but you can also grind this to a powder, and that's garlic powder.
We'll
It just takes a
experiment.
bunch of it to do make any amount of powder. So we haven't gotten to that level yet. Not saying one day that we won't be on that level, but I would like to. All right, guys, we're over here. Right here, this is what we call the wedding bed. A little story behind the wedding bed is the day that Mama Bear and I got married, April 3rd, 2020. We got married up the road here at Black Swan, and that evening, you know, we didn't go on no glamorous honeymoon or nothing like that, but it hit me that night that, hey, this is real. I need to be, you know, investing in our future. So Mama Bear and I, we built this raised bed in our grocery store.
Like 10:30. I know we were out here at 10:30 at night. That's the beauty of having the pole light right there.
But that's when we started our future, when we knew that we wanted to be homesteaders, and we was like, we need to get our future in line. So this is the very first wedding bed, the very first raised bed that we built together. None of this was here before Mama Bear. I'd bought the property before me and Mama Bear, but I was in the process of building it. And so I've had this property about 4 months before I've had Mama Bear. But Mama Bear's my favorite over the property.
It's good to know.
So yeah, on this end here, we've got some, help me, Mom.
Oh goodness.
They're purple. I know that.
Flowers.
Yeah. Anyway.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Irises.
Yeah, there
Irises.
we go. There we go.
Right here.
Our cinder block wall there's kind of, I need to do some maintenance there in come the spring or before the spring, but
yeah. As we can see, we've got a volunteer tomato plant.
This is where we had our tomatoes planted this year.
Yeah, we have tomatoes in here. This was a marigold that's already gone. But unfortunately, here's another one still holding on, guys. And there's another one. But the beauty part about this is when we get our greenhouse going, them are all marigold seeds that are dried out, and we will try to grow these in the spring. That way we don't have to buy marigolds. Marigolds are awesome for a natural deterrent. A lot of pests and bugs don't like the smell of marigolds. So we plant
everywhere.
I'd say
Dozens.
It'd be easy to say we plant over 100 marigolds throughout the property. But yeah, marigolds are real big on our homestead for pest deterrent. And they're pretty. That feller down there is a champ.
Yeah, because he hadn't been watered, touched.
Yeah, forgotten about.
Months.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these blooms off before I take all this vegetation out. Like the Creepy Charlie, that volunteer tomato plant, whatever kind of weed that is. It looks like pigweed, but it's not, because it's not scratching. But it's got a good root system.
And it's been so dry.
And then this brings up another thing I want to address. Somebody left a comment on one of our videos talking about growing in containers. Well, essentially this is a container. And he said he didn't have much success because he always had to change his dirt out. Because when he grew something, it zapped all the nutrients out of the soil. Correct. That is why we are very fortunate enough here that we've got oak tree there, oak tree there, oak tree there. He's like, what's that have to do with anything? We have leaves to galore. So after we get done planting, we will straw them in and then put leaves on top of it. That breaks down into organic matter and puts nutrients back into the ground that we're taking when you're growing a plant. And another big benefit is, if you guys don't know, we are the owners of Clucky's Organic Fertilizer. So we'll put some Clucky in there. But I'll show you guys this real quick. Oh, this is a brand new one. Oh, yeah, right there. And
Just see
when
that.
we get all the details ironed out, our website's up. It's not fully running yet, but our main thing with Clucky's is we want to offer a premium fertilizer that is OMRI certified, direct to the consumer. So you could go to cluckysorganics.com, order a bucket, and we'll ship it right to your door.
And you get the bucket.
And when you're done with the fertilizer, you got a good, this is a 3.5 gallon bucket, so this would be a 15-pound.
And I know that we've been talking about this for a while now, if you've been following our videos, and I promise it is gonna go live. But with everything, it takes time. It's all on God's timing, not ours. And
so right here is a good look at Clucky's Organics. This is a 343. Just a rock star fertilizer. I love it. But yeah, this Creeping Charlie's got a wonderful root system for the plant, not so much for me. And it spreads like wildfire.
And the good thing about the Creeping Charlie, toss it in a pile, I can take it down to the chickens after a while, and it makes an absolutely great snack for them. They love it.
Yeah, they do go crazy over it.
One thing we're gonna have to keep an eye on is werewolf. I've not ever seen him in any of our raised beds, so hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully you don't think we're planting him a buffet.
And I don't think he will. He's more interested in the other bunnies hanging out underneath their cages. But if we do see him in here, we'll have to catch him and get him caged back up. That was why Vanna ended up being caged after she'd been loose for over a year.
She's done awesome.
Yeah, oh, she did great. But then she started getting in our raised, and look at him. You can see him. He's right there.
What are you doing, little guy? Huh?
What are you doing?
Come over, say hi? Not really?
He's a nut.
What he wants.
Yeah, he does. But that's his favorite spot right there, is right underneath that hutch in particular. I know he likes the smell of the females, but
yeah, yeah, I was gonna do all this before we shot this video, but then Mama Bear was like, well, let's just give them the real
yeah.
of it. So
I mean, you can see how the grocery store looks right now with everything. I mean, I've taken down all the, you know, all of our plants and everything, but it's nowhere near ready or been winterized. We've just gotten so busy. And like, that's what happens, you know, weeds grow and you got to maintain, and this is what every homesteader will have to deal with. I mean, unless you have the time to just be babying and nursing your gardens, constantly, which we definitely don't.
Alright guys, we got our cluckies. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that on there. Pretty thick. Okay. See, that's how much I use. So 15 pounds goes a long way. 15 pounds would probably fertilize our whole grocery store for the year. So in case you was wondering that. And then I've got a couple of bags of this topsoil that I had from leftover from another project. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that to the top of them. I'm gonna handle my seed there.
And if y'all didn't see the video, if you're wondering what the gutter here is for, this is what we're going to be growing our strawberries in next year.
Yeah, that's another little fun project that I took somebody else's junk and made it, repurposed it into something usable. Pretty wet. That's alright though. It'll dry out. Well, no. It's only wet in spots. That's all I got here.
I think so. But there's 2 more bags over by the big garden.
Right, but
if you need it.
I'm gonna knock this down and see what it looks like. I think that'll be efficient. I really wasn't that low one.
No, I added a good little bit before I planted the tomatoes this year. Going into the spring this year, it was pretty low.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you just pull plants out and pull plants out. It uses dirt.
Yeah.
Just buck some clods up a little bit. All right, now it's time to plant our garlic. I got a great big old cloak seed here. I'll show you guys. You got a flat end and then you got a pointy end. It goes flat end down because your roots will come out of this.
And see, it's funny because just looking at it, I would, first instinct, I would think to plant that down just because it's got that little bit coming out. So
another thing, and I know because from experience, you can plant your garlic upside down, but all that does is make this have to come around the, gotta grow down, around, and back up.
It doesn't let it grow efficiently.
Yeah, so pay attention to which way you plant your garlic.
Was it our first year that we did that? Did it like that?
I think it's the second year. Another thing is they say garlic needs to be as deep as the seed is. So I'm gonna say that seed's an inch, a little more. So that's how the depth that we want to plant it at. And you want to leave 4-inch spacing between your garlics. So every 4 inches we hope to have a garlic planted. I think we can plant all of this in here.
I think so too.
So I guess let's get after it and get started planting garlic. Start up here in this corner. Yeah. And it's gonna drive me nuts. But what I'll do is I'll come off this 4 inches. So I just pushed it down in there, covered it up. Push it down, cover it up. Push it down, cover it up. Push it down, cover it up. I got about, I'm getting 8 more seeds left to put in. And I'm sorting through here trying to find the bigger ones. Bigger bulb, just bigger seed you plant, bigger bulb, you got a better chance of getting a bigger bulbs. Growing garlic, that's your goal. Grow the biggest, beautifulest, tastiest garlic you can. That one. So I just cover them back over, and that one's too nice not to plant, so we'll plant him. We'll plant him and him. Cover them up. All right, our 2025 garlic is in the ground. We got the seeds in the ground. Now it's time to find us some hay, lay down, and then we'll put leaves on top of that. All right, guys, I just thought of this. Instead of busting a new bale of straw, why don't I use this bedding that comes out of underneath the rabbit cages? It's got rabbit manure in it, and this is just hay. But I'm going to use this over there to cover my seed. Let's dry out. Then spread it out so it can dry out. Alright guys, that's a very good covering. It's probably about that thick, not overdosed. And then also another thing I'm going to do, just because I have it, I'm going to throw some cluckies back on top of this.
I just put it back in the carport. Let me go grab it for you.
Alright, just give me a little. I won't put it on near as thick as I did the first time. And that's another Rabbits. Let's talk about rabbits real quick. Rabbits are amazing. I absolutely love rabbits. That was the first animal that I got Mama Bear on board with. She wanted them for pets and to love them on them, and I wanted them for their little black round poop. It's a cold manure, so you can use it anytime, anywhere. You're not gonna burn plants down with it. So I highly recommend rabbits on a homestead. Great source of food, great source of fertilizer. Rabbits, I mean, they take up no space. They don't eat a lot. They're just a very well balanced animal. Grass. Don't want that. I'll see more. Got that out there. So we got that fertilized. And another thing, this fertilizer I just put on Clucky's will help break that down. So now our next project is we have to find some leaves. And you're like, Papa Bear, you just told us you had all kinds of leaves. I do, but they're still new. Well, that one's better.
Well, I also mowed yesterday for the first time in 2 months.
Yeah.
So I think that we mowed, I think I only mowed here. We mowed maybe 5 times the entire summer. So we did one last mow to put the grass to bed, and the rest of the year, as the leaves fall, we'll just let them fall as they will. It'll take forever for that tree to lose all its leaves. Well, that one's almost done, yeah. Actually. Usually we have leaves on that tree, seems like forever, but...
Careful doing this or I'll put the creepy Charlie back in there.
Yeah, don't do that.
I see you in there, dude. Well, guys, I cannot thank you enough for watching this video, watching us how we plant our garlic. Under no circumstances am I a professional garlic grower, but what I do works for us. So, guys, don't be, if you got a question, don't be afraid to drop a comment. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. Check out our merch store. You can find it on our homepage on YouTube. And as always, my friends, keep on keeping on, because we love every single one of you. Jesus does too.